Hello everyone, and welcome to a game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from KnowFear, and he is in the Leberecht Maass, the tier 7 German destroyer. Is on the map Land of Fire in a standard battle. It's a tier 8 battle. There is one carrier, and well, the enemy team has one more destroyer, but that's not really an issue in a standard battle. Now there is one radar ship, the Chapayev. So he launched his first salvo in that direction. Unfortunately, the Chapayev maneuvered, and so the torpedoes will miss. But now he's opening up with his guns. There are two friendly battleships here who could potentially provide fire support. And let's be honest, the Chapayev is probably the juiciest targets they could shoot at. So let's hope that Chapayev will soon lose a lot more health. Now, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, there is a friendly push that's looking decent. I should be able to deal with the Pensacola rather easily and then maybe push against the enemy reinforcements there. Friendly destroyer on this side is for some reason not at the front line. But maybe he will get braver once the Pensacola is gone. Now meanwhile, KnowFear is just shelling the King George here. Has a Mahan appeared? I'm not sure if he has noticed, so there is a potential for torpedoes, and well, there are the torpedoes. So popping Hydro might be a good idea here. Well, he's decided to wait a little bit longer. I suppose the one salvo is past, but when we look at the minimap, there might be 3 possible destroyers coming this way. So just because one destroyer's torpedoes are on reload doesn't mean that the others are. And here is the Hydro. Now, of course, with the Hydro now running, I'm not sure if it will last long enough. He could just go towards those smoke screens and try to engage the enemy destroyers, but I'm not sure how much backup you will get. The enemy team has 2 bigger ships around here and possibly 3 destroyers, so it's a somewhat risky move. And look at that! There is 1 torpedo. That's nice. Looks like there are some planes coming this way, but he should be able to stay out of their range, I suppose. Getting spotted here would be rather problematic. Torpedoes should be reloaded soon. He can go for another volley into this smoke. Considering how many possible smoke ships there are, they could just perma smoke there. And he does get plane detected for a second there. That's unfortunate. That means the enemy knows he is coming, and that means they might just be moving inside the smoke now. Or maybe not. Now there is just a few seconds of Hydro left, enough to get 2 salvos into the destroyer here. But I'm afraid they might have left the smoke now. Then again, maybe somebody behind this Chapayev is a possible target to just sail into those torpedoes. And wouldn't it be a shame if their radar ship was obliterated like this? Yeah, I'm having high hopes for those torpedoes. Now he is still being plane spotted, so he is behind an island now. The Chapayev is maneuvering. Can he dodge all of those? No, he cannot. So, that's nice. That's some damage, that's a flooding, and it looks like he might just be continuing to flood. Now on the left flank there is only a Colorado still floating, and he is probably going to get torpedoed pretty hard pretty soon. Overall not looking too good, but the other flank is still pretty healthy. And for some reason the friendly Fushun is hiding pretty far in the back. So, there was a Mahan coming this way. Now, KnowFear smoked up here because there are just too many ships. And what was that? Oh! It looks like the Chapayev just continued to flood until now, and that's nice. Now there are some random torpedoes coming this way. There is a King George slowly coming this way. So he is only using one launcher, keeping the second in reserve if he needs them. And well, I mean, I guess he expected the King George to either turn this way or turn away. It would be the smart thing to do. I mean, it's quite obvious that the destroyer is sitting inside the smoke. So if you were in the King George, you would either try to turn towards the smoke or away from it. So you want to limit the available target for the torpedoes. But the King George decided to just be on his merry way. Broadside onto a torpedo smoke screen, and he got away with it. Now the smoke is disappearing, and what's even worse, the carrier is here to capitalize on that. And there is a friendly destroyer in his, well, sitting in his escape route. Now while he could just try to use the smoke as well, unfortunately the Akatsuki set a pretty small smoke screen with not much room to maneuver in there, and now there is the drop. Thankfully, I guess the enemy carrier didn't go for a cross drop, so there was a nice gap that he could use, squeeze through. And yeah, dive bombers incoming. Now he just has to dodge those 3 battleships, and then he can hopefully get undetected again. Well, or maybe not, because there are Gede and the Shinonome coming towards him. Now this island will very soon help to block the shells of the big enemy ships here, so he now only has to fight those 2 destroyers, and maybe his torpedoes can hit the Fuso or something. Now on the bright side, he has a Akatsuki with him, and look at that, there is the Shinonome, and well, unfortunately those armor-piercing shells just over-penetrate, so might be an idea to go for high explosive here. Now once the Shinonome is angling away though, he can score some juicy penetrating hits, but he's already switched to high explosive anyway, and this Shinonome doesn't even know what guns are, looks like. But he managed to escape into smoke. Now with 2 destroyers around here, he probably doesn't want to be sitting here. There might just be a wall of torpedoes incoming. The Akatsuki is with him, and I'm not sure, it's possible the Akatsuki is going to charge into this smoke. But they found the Gede, and together they should be able to gun her down rather quickly. Now the Gede isn't paying any attention to the Leberecht Maass, which is good because KnowFear is on pretty low health. And it looks like the enemy destroyer has run into ground. Now the torpedoes that he used here for a second, I think they were to determine at which speed the enemy was going. And unfortunately, the Akatsuki got taken out. So, not looking too good for the team overall. But this is far from over. Now the Shinonome escaped. He decided not to help out his other destroyer. He didn't even sit around in smoke he laid before. He just bailed. Well, that means he might just be coming back and trying to cap, but it's not looking good enough that the friendlies can have one destroyer just hunt for a Shinonome around here, on the off chance that he's going to run into her. So, KnowFear will just join the front lines and hopefully help out over there. Now on the other flank, at least those ships, might be in cover from the Fuso or so they can hopefully just focus down the La Galicianaire and then maybe focus on the Colorado. But we shall see. Let's speed this up a little bit until KnowFear gets closer to the action. There is a Fuso coming his way. Not sure if the Fuso will stay on course or not, but... So he's giving it a try. He's waiting if the Fuso is maneuvering. Doesn't look like it's too much. So let's see how those torpedoes go. The Fushun is on pretty low health here, and he's actually engaging his guns with his hit point total. I wouldn't have expected that. But looks like the friendly team can take out the Galicianaire soon, and then they'll actually be a ship ahead. Now, KnowFear here is laying a smoke screen. He is expecting to gun down the Galicianaire, or he's providing the smoke for the Fushun, so that they can both use their guns and take out the Galicianaire without any trouble. And well, not sure if the Fushun actually used the smoke, but at least that worked, and nobody lost any more hit points. Now there is a Shinonome in the cap, and honestly I would have just sailed straight for the cap in this position. But, well, I mean, the carrier has spotted the destroyer, right? And the carrier is sending planes this way. There's possibly the Fushun who could go this way, or, well, the Fushun is on pretty low hit points. So KnowFear decides to hunt down this Fuso. This Fuso is pretty close. If he can get torpedoes into this Fuso, it would help immensely. But I would never place that much trust in my teammate. I would be certain that if you don't go and interrupt this cap yourself, expect to lose. Now there is a carrier drop coming. Let's point the camera this way. And have the torpedo bombers already dropped? I'm not sure. Now meanwhile, KnowFear is just launching his torpedoes at the Fuso here. And well, it looks like the carrier did not succeed. Now the Fushun is still coming down this way as well. There is a Bayern here. How healthy is the Bayern? No, not so healthy. The torpedoes on the Fuso look good, so if the Bayern can survive a little bit longer, he then could possibly engage the carrier or just interrupt the enemy cap. And there are the torpedo hits. Down goes the Fuso, so at least that part of the plan worked perfectly. And with this he saved the Bayern, and that in itself might just be very helpful to win. But now he still has to interrupt this cap because, well, nobody managed to sink the Shinonome so far. It will take the carrier quite a while to recover his planes, so I'm speeding this up a little bit while he is racing back, trying to interrupt the enemy destroyer. Now he's almost in range. The Shinonome is not sitting still. There is only one plane remaining of the squadron that's spotting. And there we go. Now the destroyer should know that he is under fire right now. What will he do? He could pop smoke, for example, if he has it ready. He just needs a few more seconds and his smoke is a bit too late. And there is a hit. There is the interrupt. Cap successfully defended. Now he has a little bit more time and he can go hunt down this Shinonome. He has his Hydro ready. The Shinonome still hasn't realized that he has guns available. There's the Hydro. There are, well, probably torpedoes coming this way, I'd assume. And, well, I mean, he isn't even spotted now because the smoke is providing him with cover. So the Shinonome continues to sail in circles and hopefully sink pretty soon. Now he managed to hide in his smoke again and he is launching torpedoes this way, but with the Hydro running, none of this should be a big deal. Those torpedoes are easily dodged, and once KnowFear is in hydro range, he can just gun down the destroyer. Now, if the destroyer is smart, he might be trying to run away here. The enemy team still has a points lead. And down he goes. Now, unfortunately, that still wasn't enough, and while I was so focused on commenting on this, there was something interesting happening down here by the enemy Ryucho. The Fushun, if you remember the other destroyer that was still alive, he was on pretty low health, but he decided to hunt down the enemy carrier. And he sailed into secondary gun range and was taken out by the carrier secondaries. The carrier did not strike the Fushun. The carrier decided to sink the Bayern with his plates, and his secondaries took out the destroyer. So while KnowFear was up here saving the cap and, well, trying to turn it around, meanwhile his team just evaporated. Well, the last two remaining ships, but they're still the Independence, and now they have to sink the enemy carrier. The problem is they have 30 seconds left. The Independence's planes are nowhere near that fast. Neither is KnowFear, so all he can do right now is dodge the last airstrike. And then they'll have to accept defeat. Now here we are with the results. KnowFear managed to get 1672 base experience. That's more than anybody on the winning team. Oh my. He earned himself devastating strike and a double strike. He scored 113,000 points of damage and he had an amazing game. It didn't look well for a lot of the time. In the end, it looked like they could turn it around. And they came so close, but in the end, time was not on their side. It's unfortunate that the Bayern got taken out by an airstrike and that the other destroyer got taken out by the secondaries of a carrier without getting his torpedoes off and sinking the carrier. So, well, I guess you can't win them all. It was an exciting game. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I see you guys next time.